Hello, everyone. Welcome back to One Sustainability, our 2022 Global Sustainability Conference. We're joined now from Dubai, Raji Hattar. He is the Chief Sustainability Officer for Aramex. And Raji's talk is implementing a sustainability strategy in logistics and transportation. So welcome. Good afternoon to you, Raji. Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to your talk and your presentation.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Glenn. It's a great pleasure to be here. As Glenn mentioned, I come from Aramex. We are a transportation and logistics industry. And the least to say is that we contribute to 14% of the world's pollution and 25% of the world's emissions. And let me share with you my presentation. So for us in Aramex, sustainability is not something we do because it has to be done or because people like us to do it. It's part of our management process, part of our DNA. And since the establishment in 1982, we made sure that sustainability is there in all our business processes. As I mentioned earlier, we are a transportation and logistics industry. We have offices in around 68 countries worldwide. We are a public shareholding company in Dubai with around 15,000 employees. We are a very light asset-based company. This gives us a bit of a headache when it comes to cutting down emissions because we do not control our scope 3. Our guidelines for sustainability is basically the global sustainable development goals. Also, where we exist, we look at the national agendas of each country we operate in. Paris Agreement also is a guideline for us. And we make sure that we comply with all these mixed international and national targets and goals. We look at ourselves as a stakeholder organization. That means that every stakeholder has to have a good well-being, and our stakeholders, as we are not an asset company, are our people, which are the most important stakeholder for us, regulators and the government, our clients, our community at large, the investors, and of course the climate change and the communities around us, and our suppliers and partners. So everything around Aramex is a very important stakeholder, and we make sure that we fulfill the needs and requirements of all these stakeholders as we operate in our areas of operation. Aramex has a sustainability strategy which is built on 3 pillars: education and youth empowerment, entrepreneurship, climate change, and the environment. I'll take you through these to see how a sustainability strategy in the transportation sector can be effective beyond when it comes to social philanthropy and charity, beyond just complying with the regulations when it comes to environment. And I'll start with the education and youth empowerment. We believe at Aramex that educating young people from underprivileged communities pays back more to these communities rather than just going and investing money in such communities, in charities or philanthropy. We have strong relationships with local and international organizations to implement such strategy. We work a lot with the UN agencies across the globe. That includes UNICEF, UNHCR, UNRWA. We partner with different universities in our areas of operation to support education and support students going to higher education in these areas. And also in 2005, we established an organization called Ruwad that was established in Jordan in 2005. The purpose of this organization is supporting young people to go to universities, but it's not for free. So I pay your tuition fees. In return, you need to come and do 4 hours of community work in your community. So you are paying back to your community. It is 100% private sector-led initiative. Funding comes only from private sector companies in each country we operate in. Now we have Ruwad in Jordan, Palestine, Lebanon, and Egypt. It is built on the community organizing model. This model, which was created by Marshall Gantt, says you do not go to a community and implement your projects there. You need to go and understand the needs of the community and align with them. So either you tweak your projects or you may become up with new projects to be implemented in these communities. And it's 100% built on youth empowerment. So all the projects that are implemented on the ground are implemented through these young people who go to universities. They go and support younger people who are in schools and private tutoring for them and supporting them in different sports activities, implementing different types of projects in the community to make sure that there's a big link between these young people and the communities they come from. Because what we used to face, and I'm sure it's faced worldwide, is that when any of these young people get a certificate from or a degree from a university, they would just leave the community and go and live somewhere else. So this way we try to tie the relationship between the young people and the communities they came out from. We managed to graduate more than 5,000 students in our areas of operations in the past few years, and most of these young people fortunately had jobs in their first year of graduation. The second thing is the entrepreneurship. And at Aramex, we believe that entrepreneurs are the ones who are going to create jobs where jobs are needed. What does that mean? That means if I'm an Aramex, I would go and open an office in a major city or a bigger town. While an entrepreneur who is opening a small business in a village will hire from the local community around him or her. They would buy from the local shop where they operate. So this way they are creating support for the other startups where they are operating in, and they are creating jobs for the communities that they are operating in. So from there, our support to startups and entrepreneurship came to life. We've created a program since 6-7 years now. We call it Startup Support Program. It includes startups and SMEs as well, whereby as an SME or a startup, you go to Aramex website, you register irrespective of your area of operation and your line of business, and you'll be contacted by an Aramex representative who would offer you a very good discounted rates for the first year, and this way we empower these startups economically. We also support them with business training and mentoring through our employees or through our network. We have a good network of mentors around the world where we operate. And also we support startups in integrating sustainability in their business processes. When you come to a small company or a startup and you tell them sustainability, the first thing they think of is basically charity and paying money, in cash, which is scary for them. We tell them no, sustainability means installing energy efficiency lights. Sustainability means buying from the shop around the corner, employing from the neighborhood or from the country you are operating in, not printing, and if you print, buy a double-sided printer so you cut your printing at 50%. So this way we make sure that these small companies are integrating sustainability at the early stages, and after that, when they grow up, this will grow up with them. We managed to support over the past period more than 45,000 startups and SMEs across the globe, and this program is up and running. The talk of the day is the climate change and the environment. As I mentioned in the beginning, the transportation industry and the logistics industry contributes to more than 14% of the world's pollution. And when I say pollution, that's air, water, and land. And I think we contribute to more than 20-25% of the CO2 emissions across the globe. These numbers have grown recently because of the higher demand on transportation, especially domestic distribution and online shopping that is, I think, all over the world. We started looking at our environmental impact in 2008, and at that time we wanted to make sure that anything we do that is related to environment is embedded in our business processes. So the first thing we did, we went and we looked at our procurement policy, and we said, since we are a light asset-based company, so we do not buy fleets, we lease fleets. We said you are not allowed to lease a vehicle that is not Euro 4, Euro 5 standard vehicle. You are not allowed to use leaded gasoline, it has to be unleaded gasoline. You are not allowed to print, but if you need to print, then it's a double-sided printer. This way, First of all, we've set the guidelines. The second thing, we shifted the responsibility of these sustainability initiatives to the procurement officer, and it's not in the hands of the sustainability officer anymore. So people will take it as part of the business and carry on. In 2010, we produced our first carbon footprint report, and we measured our carbon emissions. It took us 2 years to set a baseline. So our baseline was at that time 2012, and we committed to cut down 20% of our emissions per shipment from our operations by the year 2020. We managed to achieve that in 2016. Another target was set in 2016 for 2020. We achieved it in 2019. We just committed to science-based targets beginning of this year, and we set our baseline as 2020. And this will enforce us to be carbon. I'll come to that. Where we said we are going to be carbon neutral by 2030. This means we need to cut 42% of our emissions in scope 1 and 2, and 25% from scope 3 by the year 2030. And as I mentioned earlier, because we are a very light asset-based company and we do not own planes or ships, so that's why scope 3 is less than scope 1 and 2, because it's in our suppliers and agents who do the deliveries and the shipping for us. How did we do that? As I mentioned earlier, 2008, 2009, we managed to shift all our fleets worldwide, except in some countries where the technology was not available, to Euro 4 and Euro 5 standard. Immediately, that has cut our emissions by 10 to 15%. We started looking at renewable energy in our operations in the Middle East. We started in Jordan. We installed a 1.2 megawatt of solar farm that covers more than 80% of our consumption in Jordan. Then we came to Dubai and we installed 2 solar farms. Each one is 3.2 megawatts, and they cover more than 60% of the consumption of the warehouses they have installed in. As we speak now, we are finalizing a solar farm in Egypt, another one in Saudi Arabia. We are finalizing one in Ireland. We are looking at London, UK. We are looking at Amsterdam, South Africa, India. So wherever the strategy says, wherever technology is available and the regulations allow, and we have a rooftop that we can install solar on, immediately we move into renewable energy, which is mainly solar for the time being. On the other front, and after moving into Euro 4, Euro 5 standard vehicles, we started looking at hybrids in 2008. We integrated around 10 Priuses in our fleets across the globe. Unfortunately, the hybrids did not go commercial, and the ones that went commercial were extremely expensive at that time. So we waited until EVs came. 2016, we started talking to every single car manufacturer across the globe to try and get EVs to our part of the world. We couldn't get anybody here because I'm sure lots of you are aware of the climate conditions that we are having here in Dubai, Saudi, and mainly the GCC. Temperatures in summer might hit the 50 degrees centigrade, and humidity is extremely high. 2016, we managed to get Chinese companies to come to our part of the world, and we agreed with BYD, which had provided us with vans that can carry up to 850 kilos of payload and can run up to 300 kilos per charge, and you can charge them in 1 hour. And after that, there was no other companies that are coming. As we speak today, we are testing with most of the EV manufacturers across from Europe to China to the US. We tested the Bolt EV, we tested the Zoe. We are testing Peugeot now. We are testing also. We just tested a car that is assembled in the UAE, which is the first EV assembly factory in the region, and the results were great. So we are trying to close a deal with these guys. Our aim is to shift all our vehicles into EVs in the coming 3 to 5 years worldwide. Take into consideration that we know that EV is not the future. We are looking at hydrogen. Unfortunately, till today, hydrogen is not available in this part of the world, and the technology is still very expensive. But our aim is to shift after that into hydrogen vehicles, vans and trucks. In countries where we couldn't find EV, we went into compressed natural gas. And we started with Egypt, whereby now 10% of our fleet is CNG, and any vehicle that ends its lease, immediately we go into CNG. We also test electric motorbikes. Till now, in this part of the world, there's no single manufacturer that could have provided a stable EV bike that has a range of 100 kilos. Most of them come with 60, 80 kilos per charge. Since 2008, our procurement policy says no diesel or gasoline forklifts in the warehouses, so they have to be either electric or CNG. Our packaging material is made, the plastic is degradable since 2008, and currently we are testing different packaging material that are coming from high-end technologies. Our cardboard boxes are made from recycled material, or they are recyclable. We also recycle and reuse our wooden packaging material, and we recycle for our customers as well. As I mentioned earlier, what's coming in the future, science-based targets. We've committed to 1.5 degrees on scope 1 and 2, and 2 degrees on scope 3. Carbon neutrality by 2030, net zero by 2040, and we pushed ourselves in the 2040 target because of us being ambitious and also being pushed by different stakeholder groups, including our clients. We are looking at a reduction of energy and fuel consumption by 30% by 2025. Also on scope 3, and to make sure that we reduce our carbon emissions on air freight. Beginning of this year, we signed sustainable aviation fuel agreement with Air France-KLM in 2 routes, and we are negotiating with other airlines in the region and worldwide. Even though the sustainable aviation fuel is still expensive and the demand is way higher than what's offered in the market, but we look at that as another area of another opportunity for us to cut our emissions. We've tested Euro 6 trucks in this part of the world. We've just introduced on our land freight 2 trailers on 1 truck. That was not yet approved in the region here. We lobbied with the local authorities in the GCC, and we got the approvals. This would cut down our emissions on land freight by a minimum of 35-40%. So as you see here, we make sure that we integrate technologies wherever technologies are available to reduce our impact on the environment. We make sure that offsetting is the last resort we look at. Till today, we did not offset any carbon, but it's becoming a high demand from our clients to partner on offsetting projects. So currently, we are looking at different types of offsetting projects. A bit away from buying credits, we are looking at investing in renewable energy in some areas across the globe. We are looking at trees plantation, and at the end, if needed, we are going to offset through carbon credits procurement. We work with all UN agencies almost worldwide. We have too many projects that are running as we speak now, and we had huge involvement with UN during the COVID. And this is our performance for 2021. We managed to reach around 1 million beneficiaries from all our operations worldwide that benefited from one or more of our CSR and sustainability projects. We managed to produce more than 11 gigawatt hour of electricity from renewable energy. By 2021, we managed to cut 60% of our emissions from the first baseline, which was 2012, and that's per shipment from our operations. Also, we were the first company in the region here to do sustainability reporting. That was 2006. 2010, we were also the first company to produce integrated report, which had the financial and non-financial reporting aspects in it, and also produced our first carbon footprint report. 2018, we included a new standard in our reporting, which is the International Integrated Reporting Standard. We also report in accordance to GRI is the base for our reporting. We report also and again in accordance to SA 8000, AO 1000, the COP of the United Nations Global Compact. Actually, we are members of the United Nations Global Compact since 2007 globally. And now we are looking at the new reporting standards that are coming up. You know, IR partnered with SAS, now IFRS is in the pipeline. So we are looking at all these types of reporting. We try to integrate most of the reporting standards worldwide because we don't want any stakeholder to come to us and ask us for different type of information or the information in a different format. So we try to make sure that our reporting is in accordance to these standards. On the ESG ranking, as a public shareholding company, we are bombarded by different types of ESG ranking agencies. This is one of the agencies, Sustainalytics, and they ranked us at 11.7% risk, which is very low risk. This gave us third place on the globally that ranked companies. First place on transportation and logistics. And I think this covers my presentation. Thank you very much. And I'm sorry if I went too fast.
Thank you, Raji. No, not at all. You went through your materials. Nice pace. Couple quick things, because we're at the bottom of the hour here. Congratulations, first off, on all of your initiatives. You really do see that it's part of your DNA, right? The fact that you're hitting and exceeding your emission targets 4 years early from your initial plan. The fact that you've taken even some of that and you've built it into your infrastructure. The fact that your chief procurement officer, it's now their mindset. It's not just some, well, this is the sustainability department. It's part of, again, how you guys operate. I mean, the solar farms, the electric vans, even the compressed natural gas, as well as your packaging initiatives, are all well founded. But you know what I'm really impressed with is your community work, the mentoring of students, the work you're doing in Jordan and in the Middle East with empowerment, and really connecting with your communities. You're really embracing the concept of stakeholder, which is outstanding. And that's, sustainability often becomes a lot of metrics and reporting, but you guys you're putting the people element front and center, and it's so impressive, just so impressive. So congratulations on all of your work there. And again, being a leader, leading on the reporting side, embracing the UN Sustainable Development Goals, looking at some of what the UN Global Compact is doing. We've had a couple of speakers this week from the UN, so you're right front and center, which is outstanding, for sure. But listen, thank you for joining us today. We're a little at the bottom of the hour. Raji Hattar, Chief Sustainability Officer from Aramex, doing some great work worldwide, not only with infrastructure, but with the people element, as well as all of their business sustainability efforts. So thank you for joining us today. Great presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.